Hello everybody. My name is Silvia Maldonado and I am a student in the Pedagogical Mediation Master's degree for Universidad Nacional Abierta y a Distancia in Colombia. So in this case, I would like to introduce you to an implementation plan, thinking about Colegio Camino Real de la Costa. We noticed that there is a special need in the students in primary school because they are not really eager to practice the English language. It is necessary for the students to be motivated into learning something new according to the English program they have. So in order for that to happen, for the students to be able to feel more motivated into learning, we have created a special program called Making English Fun. And we would like to implement it in the school in order to help them get to grab on to their learning process and to be aware of how much we need to learn the English language. So the implementation plan for this program, it would be the following way. We have 4 different stages in the program. The first one is socializing it with the teachers according to the strategies that we would like to implement. The number 2 is applying the strategies, how to be able to use different strategical activities with the students in the classroom and even out of the classroom. The number 3 is going to be evaluation of the process, how according to the previous stage we would like to know how to be able to apply it and implement it correctly in the school. And the number 4 is going to be implementing the program. Now, for the stage number 1, socializing the program and the strategies, we will start this stage on May the 28th, 2020. The first idea is to socialize the program and making English fun with the students and teachers, of course, and mostly with the teachers because they need to understand which ones are the responsibilities, what is necessary for them to do, since they are the ones who are going to be with the students most of the time, right? So we need to socialize this very, very clearly with the teachers and how to be able to implement. Then for this socialization, we need to also assign them responsibilities, right? There are 2 teachers in the school and there is 1 bilingual coordinator. For each of them, we would like to for them to explore a little bit the approaches that are listed in the presentation. The grammar translation approach, the reading or bilingual approach, communicative approach. From those 9 different approaches, the teachers would take 3 different approaches and they will explore a lot more what is the approach for, how to use it, and which ones are the most important activities that strategically can be used in the classroom for our program in this case. So that's the idea. In the second stage, it is necessary to apply the strategies on June the 8th in another meeting with the teachers, right? After they have explored and they have found those special activities to develop with the students. In the stage number 2, we would, let me go back, sorry. In the stage number 2, applying the strategies, we would be able to apply the strategic activities in the classroom. Right? This is the first day to apply the strategical activities, and for the following week, we will be doing so. For this, we have a special lesson plan model that we have created, and I would like to show it to you at the end of the presentation. Then, for the stage 2, we would like to socialize the main suitable activities to be developed in the classroom, keeping in mind the following aspects. It's necessary to keep this in mind, these questions. What classes would the activities be recommended to implement? In what moment of the class would be useful to use them? The materials and the resources needed for developing the activities. And based on this information, we will provide, we select and decide which ones are the activities to be developed in a few classes for the following week, as a pilot, right, as a project. We just want to make sure that all of the activities we implement in each of the classes during one full week are going to be correct, and what kind of approaches are more suitable for us to develop in class. Then for the stage number 3, we're going to evaluate the process. After the week, we practice and we use the activities as a pilot in the project. We will evaluate that process. On June the 18th, we will have to evaluate this process, socializing the observations, right? Because we're going to do some um, participant observation, and we're going to take some notes according to that task. We're going to socialize the observation on June the 18th, and we're going to provide a full feedback to the teachers according to what they have done. It is necessary to make some changes and some corrections according to what they have implemented. We need to keep in mind that this feedback must contain, for example, the aspects to improve, the strengths the teacher had according to those strategies that they developed in class, then recommendations according to the aspects to improve, and the conclusions, of course, of that classroom observation. Then for stage number 4, we're going to implement the program according to the 2 previous stages. First, making it as a project, implementing the activities in some classes for a week, evaluating that process. For the stage number 2, we're going to implement the program between June the 23rd to July the 31st. Okay? Then the activities included in the classroom planning must be focused on the approaches selected in the first and second stages. The idea is to implement at least one activity, a very fun activity, in all of the classes, right? Different activities, but very, very fun and very motivating for the students in each of the classes. And make this a habit, not just to implement it in 1 or 2 classes, but to make it a habit, so students would be more, they will be more engaged into their classes, and they will actually cheer for when they hear, hey, we have English class, yay! That's what we want to hear from the students, as well as they do when they have physical education class or arts class, right? That's what we want to do. We want from them to have that excitement reaction when they have the English class. So, to continue, we have to continue in this stage between June 23rd to July 31st. We will have to continue with self-evaluation. Now, teachers are not going to be able to come into our classroom and observe and to make notes, of course, all the time. But in this case, we will have self-evaluation and reflecting upon the process constantly in these stages 3, 4, and 5. We will need to socialize those observations from the self-evaluation process and share the outcomes, right, from the different classes during those month and a half classes we had. And we have to do so in the meetings we have with the teachers in our meetings every week. So that's it. But before we leave, I would like to show you a little bit of the how it looks, how the lesson plan looks like, right? This one is a lesson plan prepared for these specific classes. The idea is to write down which approach we would be using in case in that lesson, in the lesson we are developing in class. So it is divided into the different stages we need to keep in mind according to the didactic sequence we need to follow in the class. So the warm-up activity, for example, it has a brainstorm, right? The students need to remember as many words as possible according to places in the city, because this lesson plan is prepared for the topic giving directions, right, for fifth graders, and the level of the Common European Framework of Reference A1. So that's the first stage, the warm-up, and they need to do a brainstorming of all of the words they have in their bank vocabulary in their minds. The next stage is going to be the presentation. What is the presentation of the topic? They need to practice a little bit which ones are the prepositions of place and the prepositions of movement in order for them to use them to give directions later on. For the practice, we will have a map for the students to work in pairs. They give each other instructions on how to get to different places in the map, different places in the city. For the production stage, we need the students to produce either speaking or written. We would like for them to show how much they have learned in the previous stage, in the presentation and the practice stages. So they need to produce more from on their own, right? So they will have to, in the map, identify different places and tell other students how to get from point A without, from point A to point B without mentioning which one specifically is point B, because the other classmate would have to guess what point B is, right, according to the directions they given. Then they will have the assessment and assignment, right? And the consolidation of the class would be a class presentation to have this important interaction pattern, not only teacher-students, but also student-student working in pairs. And now in the consolidation stage, they will have to make a presentation in front of the class. So this is the lesson plan as an example that we have created. And as you can see, it is fun for the students. They will be engaged in the whole class, and it is necessary for them to have a specific outcome so they can achieve the goals that we have set for the lesson. So that's it. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate your attention. And bye-bye. See you next time.